You're sitting in the fluorescent-lit conference room, nodding at numbers you don't believe in, while your chest tightens with every lie that leaves your manager's mouth. You can feel the anxiety radiating off the colleague beside you like heat from pavement. Your body is screaming what your professional face refuses to say. This environment is slowly destroying you. And here's what nobody tells you. It's not because you're too sensitive. It's because you're functioning exactly as designed in a system built for people who aren't. If this channel has helped you understand yourself even a little better, please hit like and subscribe. It genuinely helps more people find this content who need it. Empaths don't break down in corporate environments because they're weak or unable to handle pressure. They break down because their nervous systems are wired for depth, authenticity, and genuine human connection. 3 things the modern workplace systematically punishes. Today, we're going to explore why your collapse isn't a failure. It's your psyche's final act of self-preservation. Here's what most people misunderstand about empaths in corporate settings. They think you're just too emotional. But neuroscience reveals something far more profound. Your mirror neurons, the brain cells responsible for empathy, fire at levels 2 to 3 times higher than average. When your coworker is stressed, you don't just notice it. You absorb it into your own nervous system. Imagine walking through a room where everyone is carrying invisible weights. Most people walk past unaware. You pick up every single one. By lunch, you're carrying burdens that aren't yours, and by 5 o'clock, you're collapsed under the weight of an entire office's unprocessed emotions. That is not weakness. That is neurological reality. Corporate culture demands performance over presence. You must smile when you want to scream. Agree when you see manipulation. Celebrate metrics that feel meaningless. For an empath, this creates what psychologists call cognitive dissonance, the mental exhaustion of holding 2 contradictory truths simultaneously. You know the project is unethical. You know the promotion went to someone who stole credit, but you perform enthusiasm anyway. Each day becomes an act of emotional labor so intense it drains your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for decision-making and self-regulation. Here's where the real danger begins. After months of this performance, you stop recognizing yourself. The mask fuses to your face, and one morning you wake up empty, wondering who you've become. But here's the twist. Corporate environments don't just tolerate energy vampires. They reward them. The narcissistic manager who takes credit for your work. The colleague who dumps their emotional chaos on you during quick chats. The team dynamic where your sensitivity is exploited as free emotional labor. You become the unofficial therapist, the peacekeeper, the one who notices when someone is struggling. And what do you receive in return? Burnout. While others climb the ladder using manipulation and self-promotion, you're stuck absorbing the toxicity they create. This is where it gets really interesting. Research shows that empaths in these environments experience compassion fatigue at rates 4 times higher than their non-empathic colleagues. Your greatest strength becomes your greatest vulnerability in a system that doesn't value care. Now here's the part that makes this genuinely dangerous to certain people. When you try to speak up about the dysfunction, you're labeled difficult, oversensitive, or not a culture fit. So you suppress. You push down the intuition, screaming that something is wrong. You ignore the physical symptoms, the migraines, the insomnia, the digestive issues that appear every Sunday night. Your body keeps score even when your mind tries to forget. The suppression spiral accelerates. First, you numb with overwork, then with distraction, then with substances or compulsive behaviors. And finally, your nervous system reaches its breaking point. Not because you failed, because you succeeded too well at ignoring what your soul was trying to tell you. Here's a fun fact that genuinely blew my mind. Studies on post-traumatic growth show that empaths who leave toxic corporate environments often experience a profound transformation within 18 months. The breakdown isn't the end. It's the beginning of what researchers call post-traumatic wisdom. When you finally walk away, whether through resignation, termination, or medical leave, something remarkable happens. Your nervous system begins to recalibrate. The mirror neurons that were overloaded start firing with intention rather than compulsion. You begin to trust your intuition again. The exhaustion that felt permanent starts lifting. And slowly, painfully, beautifully, you remember who you were before the performance began. So what does healing look like? It starts with understanding that your sensitivity isn't a flaw to fix. It's information about what environments will destroy you and which ones will allow you to thrive. You begin setting boundaries that feel radical at first. Saying no without explanation. Leaving meetings that drain you. Choosing projects aligned with your values, even if they pay less. You learn to distinguish between empathy and absorption, between caring and carrying, between being supportive and being exploited. This is the work of reclaiming sovereignty, not becoming cold or detached, but becoming discerning. Not shutting down your empathy, but directing it with intention toward people and places that honor it. And here is the truth nobody tells you. Your breakdown wasn't a sign that you couldn't handle the corporate world. It was proof that you were never meant to survive in it unchanged. The pain you experienced wasn't punishment for being too much. It was initiation into knowing your worth. Every moment of exhaustion was your psyche fighting to preserve something sacred inside you. Your capacity to feel deeply, love authentically, and connect meaningfully. You didn't break because you were fragile. You broke open because you were forged for something deeper than quarterly reports and performance reviews. That is not destruction. That is transformation. And now, standing on the other side, you carry something rare. The clarity that comes only from having touched your own edge and chosen to walk away. You are not broken. You are becoming whole in ways the corporate world could never accommodate. If this resonated with you, I want to hear from you in the comments. Which part of this journey feels most familiar right now? Have you experienced this breakdown and awakening? I read every single one. And if you know someone still trapped in that fluorescent lit room, nodding along while dying inside, share this video with them. Sometimes hearing that your pain has meaning is the first step toward choosing peace. You are not too much. You are exactly enough. And the world needs what only you can offer, on your terms, in your time, with your sovereignty intact.